Good morning, everybody. Welcome to H1 in 2021. Today we're going over Tricare Choices in the United States. The one thing I do want to point out is I'm trying to study the more recent bib. So the one on the H1 bib as of the recording of this video is either I think it's the 2019 one, but I think it's better to always look at the more recent stuff. So we're looking at 2021. There's really, admittedly, not a lot in this manual. Again, we're looking at Tricare Choices in the United States. It has its little breakdown here. It talks about options by sponsor status, healthcare options, pharmacy, dental and vision options. Gives a little intro selling points on why you should have Tricare. What I love about these bibs is they're super easy to read. They have a lot of pictures and stuff because they're really not your typical regs or instructions. It's just an infomercial you're reading basically. So make sure your stuff is updated through DEERS, through Milk Connect, and that's how they make sure that you and your family get their coverage. The handbook's going to talk about healthcare, dental, and pharmacy options that Tricare offers. And so your options can change if you move, have a big life event, all that fun stuff. 3 different sponsor statuses for Tricare. You got active duty, which includes National Guard and Reserves call to order to active duty for more than 30 days. So just make sure for sponsor, reservist, or National Guardsmen, it's over 30 days, or not over 30, or yeah, over 30 days. So technically 31 days plus more than 30 days. Separated from service, non-retired can be a sponsor for some of the programs that will be talked about, as well as retirees. So it says you can also go on Tricare.mil to learn a lot about this. For National Guardsmen and Reservists, they have 3 options: Reserve Select, Reserve Retiree, or Retired Reserve, and Young Adult. And then that has like its own handbook, so not too much to look at. So healthcare options. This one confused me because I had to look at these little tabbies on the right. So for active duty folk, their 2 options are really Tricare Prime, Tricare Prime Remote. I don't think this manual really describes remote, but it basically means you're a certain distance away from the nearest MTF. So like you're getting seen out in town and seeing at the hospital, or you're getting seen out in town instead of the military hospital. For family members, they have Prime, Remote, the U.S. Family Health Plan, Tricare Select, Tricare Young Adult, and Tricare for Life if they are entitled to Medicare Part A and already have Medicare Part B. So people that are separated, they only have the 2 options. The TAMP program, the Transitional Assistance Management Program, and the Continued Healthcare Benefit Program. It's going to talk more about these in a little bit, but basically TAMP is like that first, I think it's like 30, 60 days. We'll talk more about it a little bit later. It's that first period when you separate from service, and it was basically just to make sure that the active duty person gets covered and their family gets covered until they kind of get settled back into life outside the military. The Continued Healthcare Benefit Program is like the after booster after the TAMP, where there's another time period where you can be eligible for that one as well. So for retirees, they are also eligible under Prime. They're also eligible for that U.S. Family Healthcare Plan, Tricare Select, and Tricare for Life, again with the caveat of Medicare Part A and Part B. And their family members for retirees, again, it's pretty much the same for this one. The only real difference that I saw was Tricare Young Adult is added because as a retired sponsor, you are not a young adult unless something really weird is going on. Let's see. So automatic enrollment. You're automatically enrolled in Tricare being an active duty folk. Active duty service members have to remain enrolled in Tricare Prime. All others automatically enrolled have up to 90 days to change enrollment. So like let's say if my spouse has a really sweet healthcare plan that's even better than Tricare, they can have that. They just have to enroll within 90 days of like a qualifying life event to get set up, or else they're automatically going to stay in Tricare. So Tricare is, for the most part, set it and forget it. That's why like you verify when you PCS and all that. So Tricare Prime, option for active duty service members, retirees, family members, and certain others. Let's see. So your access to specialty care is managed by your PCM. So they're the ones that put referrals. The other ones are remote. That's for active duty service members living and working in remote locations outside of a prime service area. And then that health program, USFHP, is a network of community-based non-for-profit health systems in 6 areas of the U.S. Qualifying for Prime, So here's that remote. So to qualify in Prime, you need to live in that Prime service area. You can also get Prime if you live within 100 miles of an available PCM and you want to waive your drive time access. Let's see. So as an active duty person, you must use Prime or remote. Active duty family members, however, got a little bit of choice. They can pick Prime, remote, the health plan, or Select. And then retirees and family members can enroll in Tricare Prime or that healthcare plan. If neither is available, they can enroll in Tricare Select. And then 3 options to enroll in Prime. 1, MilConnect. I've noticed most things for like getting ready for a transition is on MilConnect. I think I've seen this website on almost every single like transitory program for separating from the service and whatnot. So I think like worst case scenario, if there's ever a question about benefits, someone separating, someone getting health care, if you have no idea, MilConnect probably a safe bet unless you know for sure it's another answer that's more correct. But MilConnect, safe guess for a lot of these. You can straight up call them and you can fill out paperwork, which is the DD 2876 to your regional contractor. Then it talks about qualifying life events. So as I said earlier, that's how that 90-day enrollment period starts for being able to change. Like if the spouse is really better insurance than Tricare, that's how they can mess with it and change it. It needs to be within 90 days. So getting care with Tricare Prime. Most of your routine care is getting from a PCM who may be military hospital, civilian Tricare network provider, or a PCP under USFHP. Enrollment cost, there's no enrollment cost. Retirees, their families, and others, however, they do pay enrollment details. The costs aren't really on this publication, but it is on the website, tricare.mil/costs. Again, active duty folk, they don't have any costs for their healthcare services because it's operational stuff. Retirees may have copay. Let's see. There is an option for non-active duty to see any Tricare provider without referral. However, if you remember from like a couple pages ago, it said that there's a PCM and the whole point of the PCM is to provide referrals. So like you can go around your PCM, but you basically have to pay extra upfront to get that referral care because basically your PCM or PCP says you don't need it. All right, Tricare Select. So Tricare Select is for beneficiaries who can't or don't want to enroll in Tricare Prime and they don't have Medicare yet. This lets them basically do their health care how they want. Active duty service members do not have this option. And Tricare Select is something they have to do. You can do it either after a qualifying life event or during the fall Tricare open season, which I don't think it gave the dates in this one, but I'll look at it when we read again. There's an enrollment form you got to fill out where you can go to MilConnect. Tricare Select, you can get Tricare from any network provider without referral or authorization. It's a little bit cheaper if you use a Tricare provider. However, if you use a non-network provider, non-authorized provider, you're not getting any money from the government. You are paying for it 100%. See, I'm trying to find where it says that fall open season, but I don't see it on here. Let's see, referral open season. Yeah, it just says it's an annual fall period. I want to say it's like September to October, something like that. I'll look it up and put it in the comments below. Let's see, where do we get? So Tricare Select, no yearly enrollment fees for family members, retirees, their families, and others. There's a yearly deductible, and there's going to be a per visit copay. So basically, like think about your car insurance, you pay a little bit before the insurance pays. Same thing. Non-participating network providers may charge up to 15% above the amount, which won't apply to your cap. Filing claims, again, you just fill it to the regional contractor. Let's see. And that's interesting, there's a way for you to advertise your provider to become Tricare authorized. They can do that by signing a contract with Tricare. See again, Tricare Select options. trying to see if there's anything else big here, but not really. It talks a little bit about Reserve Select and Retired Reserve. Tricare for Life. Basically, you have to have Medicare Part A and Part B, and it covers all of this stuff here. Tricare for Life costs. There's no enrollment fees, but you have to have your Medicare. And Medicare Part B, just per the program, has a monthly premium that you're going to have to pay. And if you look here, it tells you what's covered. So if it's covered by Tricare and Medicare, you pay nothing. If it's only covered by Medicare, you're responsible to pay the deductible and cost share for Medicare. And similar with Tricare, if it's covered, you only pay the deductible and cost share. And if it's not covered by either, you are billed charges, which may be more than both events because you chose to not get seen by something you don't have coverage for. Let's see, Tricare for Life in the VA. So it is different than the VA. If you're eligible for both Tricare for Life and the VA, and choose to use your Tricare for Life not related to any service-connected injuries, because that's really the VA job service-connected stuff, you likely are going to pay more to see a VA provider than you would to see a civilian. So one thing just to remember for Tricare for Life, it's generally cheaper to see network than it is to see VA because they are separate programs. So just something to remember. Tricare will only pay up to 20% of the allowable amount you get at a VA facility, and you're going to be responsible for the remaining amount. If you figure you're getting a super expensive medical procedure, 20% of that's not a lot of money. Let's see. So Tricare for Life, it says right here, the least expensive option is to see Medicare participating or a Medicare non-participating provider. Medicare providers typically agree to accept the Medicare allowance as payment in full. And then non-participating Medicare providers may charge up to 15% above. Some other Tricare programs, young adult, here's some age ranges, which I think is basically the same as what the dental was. So this is if you have an adult kid. They are eligible at least 21 but not 26. So there you go. And this is for people who have aged out of Tricare, so like people that are in college and whatnot. And then here's those two programs. So TAMP, it's 6 months. So TAMP is 6 months after you get out of the military. And it starts the day after the sponsor separates from service. And then the other one offers continued health cover. That's CHCBP offers coverage 18 to 36 months. So your first 180 days, basically 6 months. So 180 days TAMP, and then 1.5 to 3 years is the CHCP. So you got a lot of time to try to figure out like what your insurance is going to be when you get out. So cool little leeway. And if anyone's getting out, take a gander at those and how can I get set up so I'm not worrying too much about healthcare when I separate from the military. Let's see. So pharmacy program. This goes over how you get meds. So military pharmacy. Typically no cost for up to 90-day supply of most covered drugs, and they normally don't carry non-formulary drugs. Tricare Pharmacy home delivery, so you can get your meds delivered to your home, I think to your P.O. box as well. That's no cost for active duty folk. For everyone else, there's a copay, and drugs are mailed to you with free shipping. So cool option, especially during the pandemic. How can I go home, stay home, and not have to worry about meeting with people? Retail network pharmacy. You pay one copay for every 30 days. You don't need to file a claim. And it is located in the U.S. and the U.S. territories of Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Non-network pharmacy. So these are people outside of the pharmacy. You pay full price, and then you can file a claim to get your money back on covered drugs. However, the amount of money you get back depends on your deductible, your out-of-network cost, and co-payments. So I would say the big things to remember: military pharmacy can give you 90 days. Tricare home delivery, free for active duty, not for family members. Family members pay the copay. Retail pharmacy, you pay one copay for 30 days. Non-network, you pay full price. It's just kind of like the key things to remember. There's 4 different types of drugs per this. We're not looking at our schedule. This is insurance, not clinical. So formulary drugs, that is the most widely available, lowest costs. brand name, so like the difference between ibuprofen and Motrin. Generally available, moderate out-of-pocket costs. Non-formulary, limited availability, higher out-of-pocket. Non-covered drugs, they're called non-covered because they're not covered by Tricare. Highest out-of-pocket costs, just because they're not covered, you are paying the whole shebang. So again, general formulary is the cheapest, non-covered is the largest. I would guess that non-covered drugs is basically like proprietary stuff that maybe not be fully approved and all that yet. That's kind of what I think of when I think of that. So that's all we got for pharmacy. Dental and vision. Retirees, their family members, and the active duty family members enrolled in Tricare Health may qualify for vision through the FedVIP, the Federal Employees Dental and Vision Insurance Program, which is managed by the Office of Personnel Management. And that can be opened up you can enroll during the fall federal benefits open seasons or during a qualifying life event. So vision coverage is through that FedVIP program if needed. 3 dental options: Tricare Active Duty Dental Program, Tricare Dental Program. Tricare Dental Program was the one that was also on this BIBS, and I made a video on that, so check that out. And the FedVIP. And then United Concordia. Remember, those are the ones that really handle the dental for military. That's pretty much the Tricare Dental Program is all about United Concordia. So for active duty people, that's for active duty. This also counts for guardsmen and reservists for more than 30 days. Dental program, the TDP is family members. Guardsmen, reservists and their family members, IRR and their family members, and survivors. Then the FedVIP is for retired service members, retired guardsmen, survivors, and Medal of Honor recipients and their immediate family members. So there's really only 3 for dental: active duty, Tricare Dental, and FedVIP. Active duty members, family members, retirees. Yeah, the guardsmen make it a little bit confusing, but they kind of lie in for where you would think. You got your worldwide coverage. Let's see, it's all online now. So for active duty program, yeah, it's for service members who are either referred to by care or live within 50 miles. Voluntary enrollment. Oh, this gives more about the dental. Oh, there we go. Got a little confused there. So the active duty dental program is for the people who are either referred by military dental to a civilian or have a duty station or live more than 50 miles. The Tricare Dental Program, voluntary, single or family plans, monthly premiums, cover for most preventative stuff. And FedVIP, voluntary, among a bunch of different dental people. So it looks like FedVIP has the biggest options. I would not ignore this last page. I have remembered being asked what are the regions. And so it's something to think of. So it's East and West. There's a third one. But I think it's the overseas one. I'll look it up and I'll put the comments, but I don't think it was listed in here. So yeah, just remember Tricare East, Tricare West. Tricare West includes Alaska and Hawaii. East is everywhere else. And that is it. Hopefully you guys are getting your studying. I don't know about you guys, but I am excited for the results in a few weeks. We shall see. Have a good one.